Has gaming really been ruined by streamers? Well, all over YouTube in the last few months, there's been tons and tons of videos that say gaming isn't fun anymore, streaming ruined gaming, and I'm starting to wonder if that's really the case. I feel like most people who say that don't ever want to expand outside of their genre that they're comfortable in, therefore making gaming boring for them, or they just can't think in there. So when did this really pop off? Why did this whole Twitch thing really pop off? Well, we have to go back to when Fortnite really took off. Undoubtedly, in the late 2010s and early 2020s, that Fortnite was the absolute biggest thing there was. You had everything ranging from kids in schools doing Fortnite dance battles to people doing IRL Fortnite emotes. It was huge, and I played it for a long time. I still do play it. There's Fortnite gameplay in the background. Fortnite is still fun, but not as many people talk about it as they once did back in 2017, 2018. People out there posting their Fortnite wins avidly, new streamers on the rise, and the infamous ninja clip. Since this newfound love for Fortnite was propelled into the stratosphere, you know what else was propelled into the stratosphere in terms of popularity? Twitch, or any streaming service, but primarily Twitch. Twitch had always been pretty big, but not as big as sites like YouTube or any other streaming service for that matter. It wasn't niche per se, but it wasn't widely used. When Fortnite really jumped into the gaming scene, a lot of people jumped at the opportunity to play it on Twitch because they knew it would get them shit tons of viewers. And the argument that gaming had been ruined never really came around because everyone, when Fortnite came out, they were like pretty bad at things like building. I mean, you could have gun skill, but you probably weren't good at building when Fortnite first came out. I think everyone really liked to see that there was people who were just as good or bad as them. Because the way Fortnite had done building, I don't think any other game had done that before. Now there were also a lot of streamers that really popped off because of Fortnite. Ninja, who was already a pertinent streamer, only got propelled further into fame because of Fortnite. Dr. Lupo, Nick Mercs, Myth, Daquan, all those people. You had a lot of things being propelled into Fortnite, like the double pump, which was invented by Daquan. As far as Fortnite went, it was nothing but peaches and cream. But the absolute corrupter of all things, greed, fucking greed, really took over. And when these streamers started getting down and dirty, not down and dirty, when these streamers really started getting down in those fucking Fortnite houses where they were living in like 3-story buildings, lower, higher class, and they made absurd amounts of money off of it, people really started to want to be the next Ninja or the next Tfue, the next Dr. Lupo. And everyone started to become really sweaty. Now, did this ruin gaming? No, I think that argument's fucking silly. I wasn't very good at Fortnite. I was very mid. And my census at the time, and still is, just get better. Obviously, it's not that easy, but if you care so much to the point where gaming itself is being ruined for you, that sounds like a you problem. And there's other games out there other than fucking Fortnite or a Battle Royale game. Because the arguments that gaming was being ruined was really coming from Battle Royale game casual players or people who weren't that good. Like take Apex Legends, for instance. I'm not very good at Apex Legends at all. I'm kind of below average, but I still play it because I think it's fun. I don't play it a whole lot. That's why I'm not that good, but I still think it's fun. Because if you truly enjoy gaming, you shouldn't let the fact that you're being stumble fucked by people who are better than you ruin the game experience for you. And not every game is going to be the same experience. One game you might be the first person to die, and the next game you might win. You know, there's a lot of possibilities. But with the census that, you know, people wanted more people to watch them play, so hopefully they could earn money, they started putting TTVs in their gamer tags. Or YouTubes, or what have you. Fucking Chatterbait, I don't know. They wanted more people to watch them, and since they wanted to be better at the game too, to get more people to watch them, that really propelled this thing called the meta into the stratosphere as well. This is looking away from Fortnite entirely and just looking at video games. The meta means it's the absolute strongest combination of characters or weapons or what have you in that game. For example, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, you know, if you wanted to play the meta, you weren't going to play fucking Little Mac. or Luigi or Mario, you would play Pichu because Pichu was better. I was still a hardcore Mario fan. Wasn't that good, but I still love playing Mario. And I think what really ruined, quote unquote, ruined gaming for a lot of people was the fact that there was tons of people using the meta. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you have to admit when you play the same 5 characters over and over and over and over and over again, then it gets kind of boring. But a lot of people who play video games are mindless zombies. Well, the people who strictly play the meta are. And there are people who will not shift away from that meta, and then they wonder why the game's boring after playing the same fucking character like 30 times in a row. You need variety, and you know, it's unfortunate to face people who just play the meta and your team absolutely gets fucked because you don't want to play the meta, but sometimes that's just how it goes. And I think that's an entirely separate issue on its own that goes into specific games, game devs, shit like that, and I'm not going to go into all of that. But keep in mind, there are plenty of people who don't like playing the meta. Maybe I don't want to use Tiger Drop on the final boss of Yakuza Kiwami because it's boring and he dies in like 6 hits. Maybe I'll just use Brawler or Rush, or I just won't use Tiger Drop. You know, shit like that. It's so easy to just not play the meta. I think a lot of people whose experience were ruined by people playing the meta in video games, that's more of a perspective issue than an actual issue with the other players. But I promise you, there are tons and tons of games, and there's tons of people in those games where they don't play the meta. You know, I get it. People sweating their absolute dick off is pretty annoying sometimes. Like, if I get home from a 12-hour shift and then I sit down and play, like, Rainbow Six Siege for some reason, and I'm playing as Maestro, who is my absolute favorite operator, and then the people in the other team are running Yana, anyone who's meta, it's going to be kind of like, oh, well, fuck me, I guess. I don't play Siege that often. I don't really know what the meta is right now. But anyway, you know, I get it. It's annoying. It really is. And sometimes people are right. There's no reason to sweat that hard. Like, if you're playing a game of quick play in any given game, you shouldn't be sweating your dick off. But it happens, and oh well, and it doesn't happen every game, so there's no need to worry too much about it. Next, actually, after I started doing this recording, I started looking at other YouTubers who had done this, and Cameron, in his video, I actually really quite like Cameron. He makes a lot of good content for a quote-unquote smaller channel, even though I'm hundreds of thousands of times smaller than he is. Anyway, he brings up the fact that skill-based matchmaking was a thing, and I originally wasn't going to bring up skill-based matchmaking because I completely forgot, but I guess we're bringing it up now. Cameron says that skill-based matchmaking is probably one of the worst things that has ever been introduced into gaming. Well, I disagree fundamentally on several different levels. He states that games are catering to bad players, and I mean, they're catering more to casual players rather than the people who are sweating, and there's nothing wrong with that. If the games are catering to others who aren't as good, as opposed to catering to the good players, well, no game does that entirely, except for Apex. You know, when that one pro player was like, self-revives are bullshit, and then Apex removes self-revives because they like to suck the cock of every pro player in fucking Apex. Anyway, I would argue most games, not just skill-based matchmaking, but there's tons of mechanics in other games, and most games have their own unique way of going about it. They have their own ways of catering to pro players and more casual players. Like, yeah, the good players should be paired with the good players, and if people are only having fun when they're absolutely stomping the game, then that's kind of a problem. Because I love good games. I love when games are close. Those are my favorite games. It really gets my heart pumping, you know? And it's really difficult for everyone to enjoy that pleasure if fucking my great-grandfather is being paired up against Ninja. You know, that's not really fair to say, in my opinion. Yeah, there's a lot of games, like fighting games. There are some, for example, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle Remastered, that really caters to not great players by giving you auto combos. Just like Street Fighter 6 as well. Although I haven't played that much of Street Fighter 6 because I wasn't a huge Street Fighter guy. More of a Mortal Kombat kind of dude. It was just kind of okay in Mortal Kombat though. Nothing too good, nothing too bad, you know? If you think you're being punished for being good, and if you think you're punished for being bad, well, you're not. You're just being put with people that are a similar skill level to you. And granted, the skill-based matchmaking system isn't perfect, but everyone knows that it's not perfect, and sometimes it can be fucking horrendous. Whether you get paired with players that are way too good or get paired with players that are way too bad. And on another note, let's be real. No one is fucking sweating in a game like Candy Crush or Farming Simulator because there's no reason to do it. And it's not even hurting anyone if you are sweating in fucking Farming Simulator. God forbid you sweating Hoonie Pop. Yeah, there's people who complain they're not good at the video game, and that happens all the fucking time. Yeah, I get it. Blah, 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 I'm not good at the game. And, you know, some people don't want to put in the effort, and some people just don't have the time. I know for sure I don't give a shit about being that good at video games. I just play them to have fun. Yeah, there's things in games that are frustrating when you get fucking dumpstered on. It's just like, oh, that sucks. Fuck. You know, you get a little mad, just like, oh, shit, you know. But it's not that serious, man. They're pixels. I've seen this face a tweet many times, and realistically, most casual players aren't that good to be being put into games with like top 1% players. It does not happen very often. Anyway, yeah, yapping all aside, sweats did not ruin video games, and streamers did not ruin video games. I think it's people just coping that they're not very good. You know how like the skinny guy always says, oh, I have fast metabolism, and they eat like fucking 1,000 calories and then eat like a chicken the rest of the day. See, like that, it's just bad players coping. And I also do think there should be options if you want to stay in the same lobby that you were put in. Yeah, you'll get people who leave the game because they get dumpstered on and you're left alone in a video game, but you know, oh well, it happens, and there's nothing you can really do about it. Just go next. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll try to get something bigger pushed out within the next 2 weeks, and I do have a lot of great things planned for this channel. Thanks for sticking around for this long if you did, and yeah, as always, good night and be safe.